All right, I'm going to go into more detail just to show the process I took to get to my results. I started with a larger cylinder and I duplicated it and scaled it down to the smaller cylinder and just reduced the segment count by half. And then I just tilted it up on here so you can see, if I show this, you can see an outline of the smaller cylinder. It's just rotated and intersected with the larger cylinder. And from here, it's just a simple Boolean. I did line it up a little bit so that the edges were sort of close. You can probably get them closer, but it's honestly not that big of a deal. So from here, I just did a union Boolean just to make sure that they were together. And what I had done originally was delete these faces going around, like all these segments, and then taking this face and lining it up with the middle. But in talking with Machine, the developer behind Machine Tools and Mesh Machine, he gave an even better suggestion of taking this and aligning it down with these verts. So taking snaps off, making sure this vert is down to here or here, just making sure it lines up so that the segments lines up. So I'm just going to do here. I think in my example, I might have done that, but I'm just going to go down here just because it's a little bit cleaner. Okay, so from here, you just need to make sure your segments or the verts are merged. And you can do this manually. I'm going to use a process in Machine Tools that handles this, but if you wanted to do it manually, you just connect these verts like that and stuff like that. But since I'm not doing that, I just want to show you the quick and easy way. So I'm just picking shortest path around here. And so we have, not that one, but that one. And running Machine Tools, let's see, it's the Boolean cleanup option. So I think it might start off with the smaller cylinder matching up with the larger one, but if you use the scroll wheel to select sides, you can have the larger cylinder match up with the smaller one, which is what we want, or especially in this case. So I'm going to just make sure it's all merged and click OK to accept. Okay, so I am now just adding edge loops to connect these guys. Since we don't want this large concave n-gon, I'm just making sure that these edges, I'm going to eyeball this. I'm just using slide tools to eyeball sort of there. And this I'm doing offset from the next vert just because I like convex or concave, no, convex polygons. They tend to work better with subdiv. And just going to connect these. And go to the other side and connect these. And so the next thing I'm doing after I get that is just inset this face. Do something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Do another inset of equal depth. And the only thing left we have to do after that is add support edges on either side. Or at least on this example. So let's see, doing this first. Okay, so the reason I chose this distance is I'm trying to match this segment length with this one. I know this one is a little bit longer, so I'm going to shore it up a little bit so that this matches this for the most part. It's not exact, but it's close. For this segment over here, I'm going to make this a little bit closer to this lip, just because I want this lip tighter and this one softer. From here, you'll notice from before the merge. It's still a little wonky. You don't need to fix this. In fact, in the post, my original post, I didn't fix this. It's slanted like this in the smooth result. But just to make it a little bit better, I'm going to straighten these out with the main cylinder and do the same on both sides. And I believe it's that one to here. And I don't need the end caps. Again, in my example that I showed, they weren't there. I know a lot of people beveled them to make the edges softer, but I just didn't do that. I am going to add segments on either side just to shore up those. Make sure it smooths correctly. And this is in my pinned post. You might see the 3-point rule, and this is very close to what that details. I won't go into that here though. So if I smooth this, then subdivision smoothing, crank that up to 3 and turn off wireframes, this is the result I get. So you don't need, I mean, you can, but you don't need the loops in between. The outer loops hold it just as well. And the inset here also holds the bottom loop here, which is a nice side effect. But then you have this nice corner, and this is a, oh wait, oh, I didn't merge that. Ha. Let's see, make sure that is merged. Just gonna do that. I guess I wasn't close enough on this one, but so these corners should be poles. Yeah, like this. In my example, they were. This is a polygon for reasons. I'm just going to collapse it because it shouldn't be a polygon. It should just be a pole. Okay, so the poles is actually the 6-point pole, which is not often used in modeling, but it's pretty useful here. So you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point. And it smooths pretty well, honestly. Let's see, turn off wires, and there you go. That is my result. There's some very, very, very subtle pinching back where my endgons are, but it's barely noticeable. I think that's good enough for me. And so just to make sure that you can see my end result, here are my wires. And I hope that's eye-opening at the very least.